Guys, did you happen to notice what day it is today? It's December 1st. That means Santa hat on, red nails on, red lips on, white shirt. I feel like I do the same thing every single year. And I decorated a little bit for Christmas, but most of my crazy decorations are already set up downstairs. I feel like between the glossy red lip, which is getting everywhere, and the glitter all over the place, I'm a bit of a disaster. But you know what? Doesn't matter because it's December 1st. No, but seriously, I need to figure out a way to get the glitter out of my carpet. Hello everyone! I am here today with my Pinterest Hacks Tested Christmas edition. I am very excited about this. I have been scouting through Pinterest for the last little while trying to find really cool hacks to test out and see if they actually do what they're supposed to do. So I found 3 that I wanted to test out for you guys today. One of them, it sort of kind of worked, but I fixed it. I figured out how to fix it, which is great. Pretty stoked about it. Feel pretty proud of myself right now. And stay tuned because I have a ton more Christmas videos coming at you, like starting on Saturday. So I'm gonna be uploading my RachhLoves Life video on Saturday. So turn on your push notifications so you don't miss out on new videos. Tons of stuff coming at you. I'm really excited about it. But without further ado, let's get into this. So the first hack that I wanted to test out for you guys is turning those little peppermint candies into like a serving platter or like a little cake stand or something like that. So I bought like 1,000 mints and I wanted to test it. So what you're gonna need a springform pan, some parchment paper, and a boatload of those little peppermint candies. You can do red and white, you can do green and white, you can do a mix of the both, or you can do what I did is I only found the tricolored ones, so that's what we're gonna use today. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna cut around about like an inch outside of the springform pan in terms of size for the parchment paper because you want it to sit in the actual springform pan. And then you're gonna cut slits into it along the outside, just about an inch or so thick, just so that it's going to sit as snug as possible when you put it into the springform pan. It's not going to crumple or crease too much, so you have a nice smooth edge to work with. And then you go on to the incredibly time-consuming task of unwrapping those candies and trying not to eat them all. Mostly successful. I ate only like 4 dozen. Then you're just gonna place them into the springform pan. Pretty easy peasy. You're gonna throw them in the oven for like 10 minutes or so. I started at 7 because I didn't want to burn them. And then it was about 10, 11 minutes that worked for my oven. And then you pull it out and it looks like this. It melted down to this really cool pattern because the way that the peppermints are actually created, it looks really cool and wavy and fun and really awesome. So I was really stoked in how it turned out. You can see how it looks here. Pretty awesome, and it's like pretty solid as well. So you could totally use this to house any sort of Christmas baking that you have. You can use it for parties, things like that. It's like really durable and awesome. The one thing I will say is obviously it's very sticky, so it wouldn't be good for like a legit plate, just in case any of you were considering it. The other thing I will say is that it does bubble around the top, which is a little bit annoying, so I would use the bottom as the top instead because it's a little bit smoother. In terms of how round it is, I think it did a pretty good job. There are some edges that are a little bit on the rougher side that you could smooth down either by heating up the edges a little bit and kind of smoothing it out, or just sort of like shave it down to make it nice and smooth. But overall, I think this is awesome. It looks really cool and it's a really neat idea, so big thumbs up. Next up is creating your own ornament. And there are obviously like a ton of different DIY things that you could do, and people are super creative, but I wanted to do something that was gonna be fairly foolproof. Little did I know that even I could mess this up. And that is the DIY Glitter Galaxy ornament. And I saw these online and I thought they were so beautiful and they would look so pretty on the tree, and you could do a ton of different designs. It doesn't necessarily need to be galaxy light. You could do a bunch of different Christmas colors. You could do the colors that are in your room or any themes that you have for your tree or anything like that. It's pretty versatile. And so I thought, you know, this looks pretty easy. I could do that. So what you're going to need is a clear ornament that doesn't have anything inside. I got mine from Walmart for like $2, and these are plastic, so they're droppable and they won't break, because you better believe I've dropped these a couple of times. Then you're going to need, according to many of the websites that I looked up, floor cleaner. And so I was like, hey, I don't need to go out and buy some. I have some in the closet, so I'm just gonna use what I have. So this is hardwood cleaner, and it's by the company Bona, and I was like, okay, I'll try this. It's like a natural brand, I don't know. I had it on hand and I was like, I'm just gonna go with it. And then you're going to need some ultrafine glitter in whatever colors that you choose. This is a pack that I got from Walmart because at the time I wasn't sure what kind of design I wanted to do, but I ended up with all the blues and silvers and pinks and purples and things. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pour the cleaner into the ornament, and just a little bit, and you're going to rotate it around so it's covering all of the inside of the ornament. And first thing I noticed is that it didn't seem to be sort of coating the inside. It almost seemed to be bubbling up and didn't seem to do anything. So already I was like, huh, I don't know about this. So then you're supposed to dump out any of the excess, which I did, and then you're supposed to add in some glitter, one color at a time, and sort of rotate it through until you get the pattern that you want. So I started with the blue and I put it in, and you can see the ultra fail that I achieved with this particular method. So that didn't work out so well. So I cleaned it out, and then I went out and I bought some of the Pledge multi-surface finisher, which is more of like a top coat type thing for floors. I think that it looks pretty cool. I think there are a couple of things that I would do a little bit differently. First of all, with the dark color, I sort of just kind of threw it all in at once and didn't really rotate it, and you can see I have like a big kind of a Nike swoosh right here. And unlike the Nike swoosh, I would say just don't do it. I would pour it in and rotate it as you go, and that's going to make sure that you don't get any like clumps, which is not as, I don't know, galaxy-like. You want everything to sort of be smooth and sort of meld into one another. But overall, I think it's a really cool craft, and it might be fun as like a garage activity if you have kids and you give them each, you know, they can choose whatever color glitters they want, and they can help kind of rotate the ornament to create their own if they want to do something like that. I think that'd be pretty fun, and I would emphasize the whole garage activity sort of thing, because I explained before, it's all over, it's everywhere. But overall, I think it's really, really fun and a great little craft to do, and it looks really, really boss. And the last one I wanted to share with you guys is a different way of using wrapping paper if you don't have any gift bags, because if you're like me, you have a couple of like the 3-pack of wrapping paper, and then you have this weird shaped thing that you bought, and you're like, well, I don't know how to wrap that, and so you just like wind duct tape around it and hope for the best. But with this particular hack, they have a special way of makeshifting some wrapping paper into a little gift bag so that you have something for these odd shaped presents that you might have on hand. So I decided to try it out on the little star that I usually have in my background, because obviously this is not something you want to do with anything super heavy. Although if I'm being honest, I don't think you want to put anything heavy in like any gift bag, because it will tear right out the bottom. So you want to first of all cut out some wrapping paper, enough so that you can fold around the particular object that you have with a little bit of a fold over. So cut off the pieces that you want. You'll notice as I'm going through, I'm like cutting off all the heads of the reindeer. It feels really wrong. I don't like it. I don't know why I bought this stuff. And then you're gonna take the outside corners and form almost like a diamond, and then kind of fold them over into the middle, and then take the top and bottom corners and tape them down into the middle. And that's sort of going to be your bottom base. I would add a lot more tape than I ended up adding, because you can see the ends are coming loose and it's just not working out the way that I wanted to. It's getting super frustrated, as I do with all wrapping experiments. And then you have your makeshift bag, and they recommend sort of folding it over and then taping it shut. I would say if you want kind of poke holes to create almost like a handle out of ribbon, or like just tie it up with some ribbon just to kind of finish it off a little bit. But to me, at the end of the day, it sort of just looks like a different way of just wrapping an item. It didn't look so much like a bag, but that could have been the fact that my particular item that I chose was fairly thin, so it doesn't really show off the fact that it looks bag-like. The other thing I would say is if you want to add a little bit more structure to the bottom, I would take a little piece of cardboard or something and stick it into the bottom the way they do with gift bags, and that's just going to add a little bit of sturdiness there. But I can see how this would work in a pinch if you don't have any gift bags at home. I think that it would work really well for some of the smaller, lighter items that you have that are a little bit more difficult to wrap, or if you wanted to throw a whole bunch of things into one little gift bag, as long as they're lighter, because again, right through. But overall, with those small little adjustments, I think that this could work really well. And that's everything for this video, but if you do want to see some more Christmas hacks tested, don't forget to go and check out last year's one, where I did a whole bunch of ones, including some frozen snowflake whipped cream, and I'm gonna tell you for free, it's awesome. So I'll put that in the cards in case you guys are interested. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you love Pinterest hacks tested, and if you have any themes or anything you guys want me to do for future videos, leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you girls. Mwah!